Page 49. It makes me feel young again. Anyhow, it was a great success, an immense success. I was quite frightened once or twice because Eliza was doing it so well. You see, lots of the real people can't do it at all. They are such fools that they think style comes by nature to people in their position, and so they never learn. There is always something professional about doing a thing superlatively well. This passage is a speech of Colonel Pickering in the Act 4 of Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. Attending the party, Higgins tells Pickering he is tired of the artificial behavior of the artificially created duchesses. He has lost his interest in such formal parties. In reaction to that, Pickering comments that he, in bracket Mr. Higgins, bracket closed, has never been trained how to be proper in such social gathering. According to Pickering, such parties amuse him and make him feel young again. It is through Pickering we come to know that the party in which Eliza performed as Duchess and won the bet for Higgins was a great success. Pickering was quite, quote, frightened once or twice because Eliza was doing it so well, unquote. It would not have been possible for anyone else to do so well. He feels pity for the people who consider that the style comes by nature to a person and is not acquired by learning and training. This exposes their foolishness and ignorance of the fact that, quote, there is always something professional about doing a thing superlatively well, unquote, as done by Eliza. The quoted statement reflects Pickering's wide-ranging knowledge and experience. Through this, he gives emphasis on teaching learning for the nurture of human manners. Number 13. What am I fit for? What have you left me fit for? Where am I to go? What am I to do? What's to become of me? The quoted speech is uttered by Eliza in the Act 4 of G.B. Shaw's Pygmalion. After the rigorous training of speech and manners conducted by Higgins with the help of Colonel Pickering, Eliza has been transformed from a flower girl guttersnipe into a duchess. She has performed well at the party as a lady and so has won the bet for Professor Higgins. Her creator, who is indifferent to her emotional aspect. He is in an elevated mood and she feels pathetic on being ignored. In this context, Eliza cries out her own harsh words. Eliza is too much angry to control herself. Out of the feeling of helplessness, she throws a slipper at Higgins's face. She does not know what to do now and in future. She does not find any hope from the side of Higgins and so calls him a shellfish brute. She further asks him what is befitting for her and what she is to do now, as she has left nothing fit, as she has not left anything fit for her. Finding that her future is in darkness, in spite of her best performance in the party, she does not know where to, page 50, go and what to do in near future. Higgins was highly preoccupied with his experiment, ignoring her emotional, social and economic aspects. Through these words, Eliza advocates what sort of education is needed. Education system which ignores socio-economic and psychological aspects of the students is valueless, and this is what G.B. Shaw intends to put forward. 14. When I was a poor man and had a solicitor once When they found a pram in the dust cart, he got me off and got shut of me and got me shut of him as quick as he could. Same with the doctors, used to show me out of the hospital before I could hardly stand on my legs and nothing to pay. Now they finds out that I am not a healthy man and can't live unless they look after me twice a day. This passage quoted above from the Act 5 of G.B. Shaw's Pygmalion is the part of speech by Alfred Doolittle, Eliza's father. Alfred Doolittle has come to meet Professor Henry Higgins. He was a poor dustman and now is in the status of a speaker of social reforms. He is now earning money and living a luxurious life with the help of a newly bestowed money. This present status, according to Mr. Doolittle, has ruined his life, simple, free and happy. The present status has complicated his life. He asks Higgins why he has made a gentleman of him. The present status has snatched his happiness and freedom from his life. He recapitulates his past situation and announces that during his earlier state, nobody was around him. When poor Doolittle wanted to engage a lawyer because a dead baby was found in the dust cart, the latter got the former off and shut the door on his face with a bang. Same type of behavior he receives from the doctor. But now, as he has got enough money to spend, they behave differently. They now find that he is not healthy and need proper medication and visit him once or twice a day. This speech blatantly exposes how money nakedly controls the life of human beings. Through Doolittle, Shaw wishes to uphold the sufferings of the poor working class and thereby exposes the hypocrisy in the guise of middle class morality. Number 15. We are all intimidated. Intimidated, ma'am, that's what we are. What is there for me if I chuck it but the workhouse in my old age? I have to dye my hair already to keep my job as a dustman. Continued up to, but I, as one of the undeserving poor, have nothing between me and the pauper's uniform but this here blasted 3,000 a year that shows me into the middle class. The quoted passage is a speech of Alfred Doolittle in the 5th act of G.B. Shaw's Pygmalion. Alfred Doolittle was a poor dustman and used to lead a happy, free life. It is due to Mr. Higgins that Mr. Doolittle is, page 51, now getting money for which he is supposed to deliver lectures on moral reforms. His life is now very much restricted and complicated as he cannot follow and even accept the middle class norms of life. Mrs. Higgins advises him to reject the present responsibility. In reaction to it, he tells her that it is easy to advise someone to reject something, but he is not that brave a man to do so. Each and every human being is in a forced and frightened state. Now he will have nothing if he rejects the present job. He will have to dye his hair in order to keep his job as dustman. If he was one of the deserving poor, he could have rejected it. A deserving poor might be a millionaire, but they cannot taste the fruit of happiness. Mr. Doolittle further states that he cannot differentiate himself from the undeserving poor except the curse of being provided £3,000 a year. He now belongs to middle class, and this changed status has made his life wretched. It is evident that Doolittle criticizes the fact that money is the sole issue in social relation, but all other factors are ignored in social development. Number 16. It is a choice between the skills of the workhouse. Intimidated, that's what I am. Broke, bottom, happier men than me will call for my dust and touch me for their tip, and I look on helpless and envy them. And that's what your son has brought me to. The present explanation can be made with the help of the number 15 and with the following para. Alfred Doolittle is in a dilemma regarding his acceptance and rejection of the legacy. If he does not accept the money, that is, £20,000 a year for delivering lectures on moral reforms, he will have to spend his old days in the workhouse. But he has no intention of spending a miserable life in his old age. At the same time, if he continues to accept the offer, he will be rich and be included as a member of the middle class society. But he hates the so-called sophisticated life of the middle class people, guided by hypocrisy and immorality. It indicates the psychological and moral conflict dominating the mind of Alfred Doolittle. The Scylla and Charybdis or Charybdis are the names of two dangerous whirlpools mentioned by Homer in Odyssey. By referring to this, Mr. Doolittle highlights the magnanimity of the problem he is put in. Shaw also does not give any clear-cut opinion relating to the ways of overcoming the crisis. Number 17. The great secret, Eliza, is not having bad manners or good manners or any other particular sort of manners, but having the same manner for all human souls. In short, behaving as if you were in heaven. Page 52. Where there are no third-class carriages and one soul is as good as another. The quoted passage is a part of the speech of Professor Henry Higgins, speaking in the Act 5 of G.B. Shaw's Pygmalion. Eliza, who has won the bet for Professor Higgins by performing well as a lady in the party, has realized that her future is in darkness in spite of being a lady fit for middle-class society. She has already decided to leave Higgins and go with Freddie, but Higgins is unwilling to allow her to leave. Eliza and Higgins are in a mood to trace their mutual relationship. She even ignores him without being rude to him. Alfred Doolittle, Mrs. Higgins and Pickering have left the place to attend the wedding ceremony at St. George's. Higgins frantically persuades her to reconsider her decision. In this context, Higgins smilingly and with low tone expresses before her the above quoted speech. Higgins asks her whether she wants to return to Wimpole Street, where his residence is located. Eliza reacts with a tone of sarcasm that she cannot bear his manners and treatment. In reaction to that, Higgins frankly tells her that she has not behaved differently with her in comparison to his behavior with others. It should be a matter of great pleasure that he treats all human beings equally and impartially, as God regards with equality. Indiscrimination is the principle which is followed by Higgins. This is indicative of the fact that Higgins is guided by a sense of socialism so far as his treatment with human beings is concerned. End of the chapter Pygmalion. Continued in the next file.